Hey everyone, I'm Mallory Mayer,
And I'm Diane Fuchs.
and welcome to episode number 11 of The Backyard Fence. We are a mom and daughter team bringing you wellness wisdom across the generations. And while we're in completely different parts of the country, we have this virtual fence where we meet to chat about many different health topics. And we invite you to join us here at our backyard fence.
Yeah. So, hi Mallory.
Hi.
You have to look the other way.
Oh yeah, because it's like flips. Yeah, we're really excited to be back here on the air on iTunes. And it's been a while since we recorded our last podcast. I don't even remember when that was.
Yeah. I guess we could have looked that up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while, so we took a little bit of a sabbatical, not on purpose.
Yeah.
But just a lot of stuff happening. I don't know. It must have been earlier in the fall, I think. And then, the holidays came up, and I was nearing the end of my semester in nursing school, and you know how it goes.
And we drove to Florida from Texas, 1,300 miles to go get Abby from University of Miami because she's transferring. And then the day after New Year's, we took her to Indiana. So we had two major road trips in the space of 3 weeks.
Yeah. And so did we. So did Mark and I, because we went to Florida, and then we went to Wisconsin for Christmas, and we were there for like 3 weeks, almost 3 weeks.
Yeah.
With the dog. So it was a good Christmas. We had snow, and then came back and started school again. My last year in nursing school.
Pretty amazing.
Really exciting. Less than 10 months till graduation. Mm-hmm. It's weird because just 1 year ago, I was like a beginner nursing student and like barely knew how to do injections. And and now I'm giving people medications through like feeding tubes and like doing all these different things.
Oh, exciting stuff.
It's so exciting. I get to see people with needles.
I was being facetious because that's not exciting to me. Okay.
I think it's exciting.
I'm glad it's exciting to you though, because we certainly need people like you out there taking care of people like me. Who, well, I mean, not that I need anything right now, but
Well, and the funny thing is that I'm being more drawn to like the psychiatric mental health nursing. Like I really want to work with veterans. I had an amazing clinical last night. I got to talk with a veteran. It was just really cool. And I really want to work with veterans with PTSD. So it's like, that's not like, you're not going to be putting in IVs, and you're not going to be cleaning wounds, and like, you're not going to be doing that kind of stuff, unless you were at a place like Walter Reed, where you're dealing with trauma. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see her.
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah. But yeah, a lot has happened, I guess, since we last recorded, and I feel like we got a good start off to the new year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except for Mark leaving on deployment.
Well,
it is what it is, I guess. Yeah. But today, so yeah, I mean, anything else to catch people up on?
No, not really. I mean, just once the holidays were over and the 2 trips, we're doing good.
Yeah. Yep.
Just trying to catch up on all kinds of stuff. So
yeah. Well, and so today we really wanted to talk about, we may be switching up the format. I know before we had a very structured format for the first 10 episodes. And since we're new at this, still new at it, we'll probably be experimenting with different things. Mm-hmm. But the last episode 10, was our interview with Cassie Joy Garcia from Fed and Fit. And we talked about her book, Fed and Fit, and her project. And so both of us have done her project, actually. I started it like the second week in January, I guess, like after we got back from traveling. Mm-hmm. And I had amazing results.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think I just started 1 week behind you, or was I 2 weeks behind?
I think you were like 2 weeks behind me.
Okay.
Because I finished.
Or a week and a half, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Because then I finished at the end It was like, or the very beginning of February.
Yeah. But I'll hold up the book.
Oh, I was going to hold up the book too.
We don't have to both hold it up. But anyway.
How does mine look backwards?
Well, mine looks backwards to me.
Oh, okay. So it should show up for people.
Yeah. One of us will be, yeah, we'll have to watch this back. But anyway, yeah. So that's the book.
We're like total fangirls. But yeah, so basically, her project is like a reset. So at the beginning of the year, I wanted to do a reset on my diet. I wanted to start exercising again because like I haven't exercised consistently for about a year. So that's what her program does, and it incorporates food and fitness and hydration and just everything. It's a total reset. And I've been trying to clear up these skin problems. So it's almost gone actually, so you can hardly see it, but I've had this patch of like some kind of dermatitis on my hand, and on the side of my hand, and then on the back of my neck I've had like psoriasis type stuff, and like kind of on the sides of my face, and I really wanted to clear that up. It's been really annoying.
And it cleared up?
Yeah,
because of doing the reset.
Yeah, it significantly has been reduced since doing the Fed and Fit project.
Mm-hmm.
And like nothing has done that. It's just totally amazing. So
yeah,
some of the main things that I did as part, I'm paleo, like paleo template, but I haven't been like strict paleo for a long, long time. So I'm like, okay, it's a good time to try to go back to that for a little bit. So no grains, no dairy except for butter, and whey protein powder. Like she allows whey protein powder on it, which for a long time I thought I couldn't have.
Why did you think you couldn't have it? Just because it comes from milk?
Whey, yeah.
And did you think that it affected you, or you just didn't think?
At one point I did think it affected me.
Oh, okay.
I guess my stomach, I guess.
Mm.
But anyway,
yeah.
but she allows that on the project. And so, I followed the project to a T. And I think that dairy is probably what has caused my skin issues. I think. And maybe grains, but I can't really like pinpoint that. But yeah, because I was eating yogurt, my stomach can tolerate yogurt because of the fermentation. And so I was eating grass-fed yogurt for months and months and months because it was just so easy for breakfast.
Yeah.
And so I cut that out, and I think it's the dairy.
Wow. Yeah.
But I'm able to do butter, and I'm okay with the whey protein. I got a good quality. I buy the Primal Kitchen protein powder from Thrive Market. So that's the Mark Sisson.
Oh, okay. Let me write that down. I actually, it's Mark Sisson's, what's it called?
It's called, his brand is called Primal Kitchen.
Oh, okay.
He has two different types of protein powders. There's a vanilla and there's a chocolate. And
are they like 2 ingredient protein powders or one ingredient?
It's like 5.
Because that's what Cassie Joy says to do. Get a protein powder, a whey protein powder that's only at the most 2 ingredients.
Right. So yeah, I guess I cheated on that a little bit. But I had heard, the reason I wanted to try that one is because I had heard from other people that they had problems with other whey protein powders, but they didn't have problems with that one.
Oh, because it's clean. Does it come from grass-fed cows?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I do know that it's whey protein isolate, and that is a contentious topic in the paleo world.
No, I just read something about that. Where did it wasn't her, it was, or was it? No. And whatever I was reading was saying, yeah, you should get the whey protein isolate.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh.
time I heard people say, get the concentrate because it's less processed and it's the whole way. And, the isolate is isolated. That's why it's called isolate.
Oh,
And all this stuff, like all this, fear mongering type of stuff, which I hate.
yeah.
But actually, I think the reason I can tolerate it is because it's isolated and it doesn't have the whole thing. So, and also I think isolate is, well, I don't want to say that because I'm not fully sure, but it might have something to do with absorption, like it's better for your muscles or something like that.
Oh.
There's a reason behind isolate. So if you go to Mark Sisson's website, marksdailyapple.com, you can read all about it.
Oh, okay.
But I think it's fabulous. I love it.
I know that soy protein isolate is not good for you.
Well, and soy is not good for you anyway.
But is it because of, is it because it's soy or is it just because it's soy protein isolate? I don't know.
Probably both.
Anyway. Okay, well, good. Because the way that I was using was Tara's Whey, which if you get the plain one, that's like all it is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they do have vanilla and chocolate too. So there's a few more ingredients in there. But
I think in the past, that's the one I tried, the grass-fed one.
Yeah,
grass-fed. I did not do well with it.
Okay.
It made me stuffy. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like seeing the can and remembering my symptoms.
Wow.
Yeah. But because I think it's concentrate.
Yeah.
It's in concentrate.
And you said this Primal Kitchen one is grass-fed too, or no?
I don't know if it's grass-fed. And I think he has his reasons for that. Like if it's isolate, it doesn't
matter.
I don't want to say. I just go to marksdailyapple.com because I don't want to say the wrong thing on here because
okay.
I'm remembering bits and pieces and I didn't realize we were going to talk about whey protein.
Yes. I didn't know this was coming up. Okay. No. Yeah.
But I love it and I love Thrive Market because it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
And it tastes great. I mean, I always make my smoothies with, other things in it other than just milk, like almond milk and the powder. But like Mark drinks it. Mark loves the chocolate. I was able to get Mark off of muscle milk, which is canola oil, like all this crap. Don't use muscle milk. And I thought I would never get him off of muscle milk. But
you weaned him.
I weaned him on muscle milk. I know it's canola oil and like artificial flavoring. I'm like, no.
Oh.
Anyway, so I sent him a big thing of chocolate Primal Kitchen in a care package.
Yeah. Oh, great.
So I hope it doesn't. I hope it's okay. Well,
I did not really have amazing results from doing the project. I was hoping that I would be able to make an impact on this 1.5 year long rash I've been having, but unfortunately it did not. But I did feel really good when I was on it. I mean, not that I really felt bad before, but eating that way, it just wasn't hard at all. It was very satisfying. The meals were very satisfying, and everything tasted good. There was just, so far there's only been one recipe that I was like, no, I'm not making that again. But everything else has been fantastic. So we should talk about like exactly like what the book entails.
Yeah. Although, we shouldn't give away all details because we want people to.
Well, yeah, but just kind of basically, in the first part of the book, she goes over the 4 pillars of belief. It's not the 4 pillars of belief, just the 4 pillars. Should we say what the 4 pillars are? Can we say that? Is that giving away?
Well, I think if you want to find out more about the pillars, you should go listen to episode number 10.
Oh, because she does
go into that. Yeah.
So I guess what we're really talking about in this podcast is just how it worked for us and what we thought was really neat about it. So one of the things that I thought was neat about it, first of all, she gives you these 2 pages of food scope. So like what's in scope and what's out of scope. And that means what's in the diet, you know.
Yeah, the project.
The project. Yeah, she doesn't call it a diet, it's a project. And the first column is like what's in and out in a typical paleo diet. And then the middle column is what's in and out for her project. And then the third column is the perfect you plan. So once you're done with the 28 days, I mean, you know, it's just 4 weeks, 28 days. And once you're done with that, then you can start adding in foods, other foods, and just observing yourself and seeing how they make you feel. Because she also has you journal, which I wasn't.
Love that.
Oh, I was going to say, I didn't really do that very much. I mean, I did a little bit, but sometimes I had a hard time. Oh my gosh.
I have a cut and fit folder.
Yes.
And if you sign up on her email list, you will get this PDF. And you track your sleep, you track your water, what you eat, how you feel after it. You track your exercise and like reflections. I think this is the key to having a successful project.
Yes. And it also is a page in the book, which I actually cut out one of the pages. She's got it on 2 pages, so I actually cut out 1 page so I could just copy it. So it's all that information, but it's on one sheet.
I like the color.
I like it being on one sheet, so I like color too. I wish it was colorful and on one sheet, but you know. Anyway.
And it's amazing because there were certain things that like I wouldn't have maybe realized like, oh, I felt this way unless I would have written it out. Because it's so easy to be like, oh, I felt a little bloated, but it really wasn't that big of a deal. You know, you don't really like, it's kind of in the back of your mind, but when you actually have to write it out, like I felt this way.
Yes.
And so there were a few times, so I wasn't perfect, and there's no such thing as the bandwagon, like, oh, I fell off the diet bandwagon. Like, I hate that. You know, it's just you get up the next morning and you start again.
Yeah.
So there were a few times like where we would go out to eat and like they couldn't fix me just like a baked potato. Like it had milk in it. And I'm like, why people? So I had to get rice.
A baked potato had milk in it?
Well, it was like a twice baked potato.
Oh.
Made the big batch.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, just give me rice because I need a carb. And I noticed that I would feel just a little bloated after eating rice. No gluten, just this grain. So if I personally, Mallory Mayer, want to feel at my tip top, I need to be dairy and totally grain free.
Now, I wonder if that grain was, quote, properly prepared, you know, in the Weston A. No, I know the one that but I'm saying, if it was prepared properly, would you have gotten bloated? You know, in the Weston A. Price tradition of soaking your grain, preferably, you know, either lacto fermenting it or soaking it. And I don't mean just for 15 minutes. It's like 7 hours. You have to like really plan ahead. And if you can't do lacto fermentation, then soaking it in raw with you know, a little bit of raw apple cider vinegar, and then that's a properly prepared grain. I wonder if that will bother you.
I should try that. Like next time I prepare rice, like I have not been preparing rice at home, so it's only when I go out. So when I'm at home, I'm basically grain free. It's, you know, but you know, it is hard to be grain free when you go out. But I should try that and just see.
At home, yeah. I have a cookbook where it explains exactly what to do.
Okay.
You know, it's Nourishing Traditions. Do you have that cookbook? Sally Fallon is the author. Anyway.
But I know that's a good resource.
Yeah. So that would just be interesting. But then what I really, really liked about this was the fact that she has meal plans with little pictures for every week. And so she has the name of it, and then she has the page number where you can find the recipe, which is, all the recipes are in this book too. You see all the recipes. So with pictures, that seems to be the thing today with cookbooks. You have to have pictures of everything. We're so visual now today. What?
I don't buy a cookbook unless it has pictures.
Unless it has pictures, yeah. Like the Nourishing Traditions does not have pictures. But anyway, and then I tabbed my book. Did you do this? So on the important things that I wanted to be able to look up, I have, the weekly food plan, and these are like, like Post-it type notes, so then I could move it from week to week. Food scope, pre and post workout, because there were certain rules for snacking, pre and post. And then I also tabbed where you have the DIY food and fitness template, just in case you didn't want to follow her recipes. You could make up your own. You could use your own favorite recipes or whatever. Just make sure it has these elements. And then the other thing that I bookmarked was the fitness index and all of the, but I ended up not really following the fitness because it was too hard for me.
You could have modified. And I think so also for people, if you want to do the project, but you're like, well, I'll never stick to it on my own, I need other people. I just got an email today from her saying that they're opening up another online project. So you can pay a fee, and then you get admitted to her online project. You will be able to interact with her. I think she probably does Facebook Lives in the Facebook group, and you get accountability. And
so she
has modifications for the fitness.
Okay. So she doesn't do it like once a month or anything. She just does it occasionally.
Yeah, I don't think it's once a month.
Oh, okay.
She had one in January. Not sure when this one.
And she's doing another one starting in March.
Probably March. Yeah.
So yeah, sometimes when you're paying a fee to somebody, it makes you a little bit more accountable to doing this. It was nice that you and I were doing this because we could kind of go back and forth and support each other that way.
See, and my book is well loved because I've totally ruined this. Look at that, falling apart. This page is now I have 2 pages that are totally out.
Oh no!
I love my cookbook.
I thought you were gonna go to the Staples or something, and what they do is they can cut this off the binding, and then they can spiral bind your pages.
I know. I've just been so busy with having to move.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
On our way.
But on these, it was really neat though. The exercises, it gives you like step by step how to do these exercises.
Yeah, and it was, for me, it really was hard at first because I hadn't worked out in like a year. But once I got going, I was like, this is awesome. Like, I love being told what to do when it comes to fitness.
Yeah. She's got
do this.
Yeah. I mean, she's got warm-up exercises and then the exercises for that day and then cool down exercises. So
the warm-up she calls the cool down she calls mobility.
Yeah, mobility.
Yeah, and it's 5 days of working out and then 2 rest days. Or you could do yoga or something like that.
And some of you out there who might be considering doing this, but the one thing that might be holding you back is, but I like to have dessert or snack or, something sweet. And so I really like this chapter, the Naturally Sweet chapter, where she has all these different suggestions for making like little puddings, gummies, um, the roasted fruit pops. I only made the blueberry ones.
Mm.
I never made the other ones. Did you make any of the other ones?
I only made blueberry.
Oh, okay. And
Fudgesicles.
those were really good.
So
The
good.
roasted blueberry, I think if you're expecting a sweet thing, you're going to be disappointed in those. But but the puddings were really good. And the gummies, well, I only made the lemon lime gummies. Did you make any other ones?
I made blueberry.
Were they good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
The lemon lime ones were really sour.
Mm.
But
I think at first, like, if you're doing the project, I would suggest starting with the puddings or the fudgesicles. If you like that sweet, and especially if you like chocolate, those are my personal favorites. But I think eventually your palate does start to change as you keep going, and as you don't, because you're not even allowed to have natural sweeteners like honey or maple syrup.
well, there's one natural sweetener she allows, and it's dates.
Yeah, because it's a whole food. Like, it's not refined in any way.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I think your palate does change over the course of time that you're doing it, and eventually you don't crave. The only
Yeah.
time that I craved like something really sweet was PMSing.
Was what?
To be completely honest, during, like, if you're PMSing.
Oh,
For
okay.
me. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, that's the one area that I just haven't conquered yet.
Yeah.
As far as that, like, cravings go.
Well, I don't have to worry about that anymore.
So, but other than that, it was not hard for me to not have sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, I found that my palate got more refined. Like I could taste sweetness in things that formerly I wouldn't have thought of as sweet in any way.
Yeah, just like having berries for dessert.
Yeah.
I would have berries and coconut cream and I'd sprinkle some cinnamon. That was so good. So good.
And see, I don't know if coconut is bothering me, so I kind of laid off the coconut. But that would be really good. But I got this craving for fresh blueberries. I got some fresh organic blueberries at Costco, and I started buying them every week.
Yeah.
They were just so, I don't know, there's just something about them. And then the other thing that I would get cravings for was her anti-inflammatory smoothie, which probably it was because of the amount of fruit that was in there. There was like a cup of strawberries and a half a banana and half an orange. I mean, I was kind of surprised that she had that in there because that is kind of a lot of sugar, I guess, I think. I don't know. I didn't really look it up. But, I mean, strawberries aren't so high in sugar, but a banana and an orange are.
But if it's a green banana, it's almost all resistant starch.
Oh, well, she didn't specify that it should be green, but
I always try to get green bananas because of
that. Oh, well, I was just using frozen bananas that we have in the freezer. So those bananas are definitely overripe. That's why they're in the freezer.
I would always try to use less than a half of banana
Yeah. But the two really unusual ingredients in that were ginger, like powdered ginger, and 1 teaspoon and 2 teaspoons of turmeric. The first time I tasted it, I thought, this is kind of weird, it's like spicy, but I mean, it was okay. But then after that, I started craving it. Like, I want that. So, anyway.
Instead of the ginger powder for that smoothie, I do 2 drops of ginger essential oil.
Yes. Yeah. I wonder nutritionally, I guess there's not really any difference.
It would be, you'd get more punch.
Yeah. Because a ginger essential oil would take the ginger root, and that's what the ginger powder is made from, is the ginger root, and then it distills the oil out of it.
And the one we use is from fresh ginger. It's not from dried ginger.
Yeah,
So
fresh ginger.
Very
Yeah.
potent. So it has all the good properties.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, so I think, you know, and especially around this time of year, you know, beginning of the year, you know, I would see on Facebook people doing like the Whole 30, or like, oh, I'm going to start counting calories. Like somebody in my class just yesterday told me, oh yeah, I'm counting calories, and I have 600 more for the day, like, and I'm 1,500 calories a day. And I'm like, I personally don't believe in that. I think if you're eating good calories, you don't need to worry so much about it. You know, unless you're some kind of bodybuilder that you're trying to reach a certain amount, you know, you have to make sure you actually eat that.
Yeah.
Restricting yourself to, oh my gosh, I can only eat 1,500, which, you know, that, again, it can lead to a bad mindset around food. And I've seen people with the Whole 30, and I'm not like, I know that the Whole 30 works for some people.
What do they count calories?
They don't count calories, but it's extremely restrictive.
Oh.
In my opinion, it's more restrictive than the Fed and Fit Project, even though it's probably about the same. But I think it's all about how you present the information. And I think in the Whole 30, I don't know if you're even allowed to have like desserts, or you know. And so I think if you come at it with a restrictive mindset, like I'm not allowed to have desserts and I have to count calories or whatever, then you're not probably going to accomplish, you're not going to have a positive experience. Whereas I did not feel deprived on the Fed and Fit Project. You know, if I like broke a rule, it's not like I felt super guilty about it. I didn't feel like I dropped off the bandwagon. Just start back up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And with other programs, I think it fosters a negative mentality around food.
Yeah.
And that can lead to worse issues where you see food as a reward, and it's like you have this reward and deprivation cycle going on, and then you just like overdo it. It's too easy when you do get that special stuff to overdo it, and then you feel guilty, and then you try to diet and like punish yourself and work out more to punish yourself, and it's not healthy. So yeah. I really appreciate the balanced approach from Cassie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think it's very unique.
Yeah. And so I think that I'm going to, you know, basically continue this same way of eating. I mean, I'm adding back in foods now, like I'm adding dairy in, and you know, so anyway, today at Michael's, I found this menu book. It's by Recollections, and it was just like $3.99. So I got to show you the inside though. So
I might have to go to Michael's and find this.
Yes, it's part of a you know, whole, like you can buy a binder, and they have different books that say different things. You know, like there's one that's called journal, one that's called calendar. You know, so you can put all these books together and have your make up your own type of. We're doing a podcast right now. I know. Anyway, you can make up your own kind of binder. So, okay. So then it has a section here where you can mark down favorite recipes in different categories. Because how often have you made a really good recipe and then you can't remember what cookbook it came out of? Mm-hmm. Well, write it down in here. And then there's a page for if you need to write down stuff for special occasions, and there's equivalent measures, and then a page for notes. Okay, so then the rest of the book is this. Isn't that neat? So you have Monday, you can write down your breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack idea if you're going to have a snack. So you have that for every day. And then over here is your shopping list. So then when you're ready to go to the store, you just take this whole book with you, go off your shopping list. And another neat thing, writing everything down is, how like when you have leftovers and you can't remember when you made it. So is it still safe to eat? Yeah. Well, now you have it all written down in here. And because that was what was neat about her, Cassie's meal planning is she planned, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And usually for lunch, it was just the leftovers from the night before's dinner. So, it's not like you're really planning 3 meals a day. You're having leftovers for lunch. And then, I never plan out my breakfast, but I think that's a good idea so that you can make sure you're getting a variety. And if you are, like, say, somebody that's dealing with food sensitivities and you're trying to do a 3 or 4 day rotation diet, this would be invaluable to do that. So you could really see what you're doing. So I presume that there's 52 weeks in here. I did not count the pages, but anyway, this was a really neat find.
Yeah.
I would never have found it unless Jordan hadn't told me. Oh, I went to see him at Best Buy, and he was just leaving the store. He had to take somebody somewhere. He says, I'll be back like in 10 or 20 minutes. Just go over to Michael's and look around. Oh, big mistake there. I bought some other things too. No, there wasn't a big mistake because I found this.
Yeah. Well, and I think that goes a long way, and it kind of shows people that it is doable to eat like this, because one thing I see people complaining about or worrying about is, I don't have time to cook. Like, one of my clinical instructors said, you have time to cook? And I'm like, yeah, I have to. Like, I make time because it's important to me. So I think, like, if you have the right planning tools in place and you have like a book that gives you actual meal plans and a shopping list,
that yeah,
so much time, because you don't have to sit there and like figure out what you're going to eat that week.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do this week from this book. And this isn't the only paleo cookbook that has meal plans in it. Mediterranean Paleo has it. Practical Paleo has it. I think Meals Made Simple by Danielle Walker has a meal plan in it.
That's right, she does, yeah.
And you just go to one of those, and if you have a variety of books, like each week you can do a different book so you don't get tired of like the same style. And there you go.
Do they have the shopping list like this?
I don't know if they have a shopping list, but I don't think they have a shopping list, but they have the actual meal plan. So it tells you the page numbers, and you can just go, like, you don't have to make decisions. So, like, less decisions that you have to make about smaller stuff like that, then you can have more brain power to make things. Mm-hmm. I mean, kind of basic, like.
And for week number 1, I literally went and I bought everything that was on the shopping list. Well, I mean, some of the stuff I had already, but pantry items. So that was really nice. But let's say, well, you're not going to do every single meal. So how do I know what to get and what not to get on that shopping list? Well, if you're using the recipes from her book, she has these QR codes at the beginning of the chapter. So you can just say, okay, well, I'm going to make this and this and this. And, you just scan, you get the Fed and Fit app, and then I haven't tried this, so I'm assuming this works. But anyway, you just, scan it with your QR code, and then it's supposed to generate a shopping list for you.
Yeah. And I use the app.
Did you do that?
I don't know if I've ever scanned it, but I use the app like if I'm shopping and I need, I haven't really planned. I can just look up a few things on the phone, like a few recipes, and then you can create a shopping list from each recipe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that. And it's
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to try that. Yeah.
So, I mean, I give this 5 stars.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I feel like I haven't even fully explored it because, well, for us, just being the two of us, well, you had two, sometimes three, but we had so many leftovers. Like I was at the end of week 2 and I was just finishing up week 1 recipes because of the leftovers that we were eating. So anyway.
Oh, another thing I realized is that nightshades don't bother me as much as I thought they did. Now, maybe that's changed. Maybe because I'm not assaulting my body with dairy. Maybe my body can now handle nightshades.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Or, and also not grain. No grain. So
Yeah.
that's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
yeah, this is a process. Like also, I mean, if you're dealing with, pretty severe problems that have been going on for a really, really long time, you're probably not going to resolve them in 28 days.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas with me, my gut issues have mostly resolved. I've been working with a functional medicine doctor. I've targeted supplements.
Yeah, you've been working on it.
I've been working on this for years. So just having a few patches of skin that are flaring up, that is realistic to deal with that in 1 month.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are somebody who's like, you're just starting this journey of paleo and real food eating and all that kind of stuff and trying to heal your gut, don't expect yourself to be fully healed in like 28 days because you probably will feel better. You'll probably notice a difference, but you won't be completely healed. So give yourself time. You may need to do like 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds of this. So just keep that in mind.
Yes.
It's not an overnight process.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think that's a good review of that. And I think we're kind of like, as far as the format of the podcast goes, it's kind of just like not really very structured. I know in the past it's been really structured, but just because we're both so busy, we want to just have this kind of be an informal thing where we get on here and talk. And I think the more people that listen, then the more feedback we get, then we can tailor it to what we want to hear. So, because maybe people don't hear us ramble like this.
So if you have any questions about the Fed and Fit, you could email us. Is that what we said before?
Yeah, podcast@thebackyardfence.org.
.org, right. And or you could go to fedandfit.com and see about it for yourself too. So.
And also listen to episode 10, the one right before.
Yes.
Where we actually talked to Cassie.
Yes. Yes, we actually interviewed her. That was so fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see what we talk about next time.
Okay.
I don't know what we're going to be talking about next time, but
something related to health.
Yep, something related to health, and maybe we'll try to stick to like one topic per podcast.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do this for like 10 episodes and maybe change it up.
Okay. All right.
So, you guys, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. Bye.
And we'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye.